surprising Meryl. After commending her skills, Kaiser tells her that the purpose of magic is not to hurt people, but rather to improve their lives. While Meryl feels dejected, Kaiser continues his speech, but gets interrupted by a colleague who then asks if he's returning home from work. When Kaiser says he's headed home, his colleague points out that the year's harvest is going to be the biggest they've ever had since the demons have not been able to harm the crops. In addition to this, his colleague points to the magical fence Kaiser built and says it has been quite helpful. Meanwhile, Meryl wonders what that means while staring curiously. Sensing this, Kaiser explains that the fence is reinforced with lightning magic to hit monsters with jolts of electricity if they try to attack the crops. Just then, Kaiser's colleague chips in that it's a great invention and adds that nothing feels as good as watching an annoying monster turn its tail and run away from the fence. After this, Kaiser's colleague promises to give him some crops once the harvest is done. Facing Meryl, he tells her to make sure she eats the vegetables and grows big. When Kaiser's colleague takes his leave, Kaiser tries to remember what he was saying and Meryl says she understands what he was trying to say. She then asks if Kaiser will praise her if she uses her magic to help people. When Kaiser says he will, Meryl lights up and decides to work hard to earn his praises. Just then, Kaiser helps Meryl up and thinks of how better the world will be if Meryl studies how to use her magic for the people. Meanwhile, Elsa and Anna sit at the table, trying to decide what to get Kaiser for his birthday. After a while, Elsa points out that it'll be a problem since Kaiser never talks about the things he likes. Anna then agrees with her since their father is neither a drinker nor a collector of things. Just then, Elsa suggests that they ask some of his friends for ideas. However, Anna says she already tried that but got nothing from it. Elsa then points out that they can't ask him, and Anna adds that she'd like to keep it a surprise if possible. Just then, Elsa suggests that they try to cook something for him, but Anna says she thinks it's better if it's something he can keep, so they decided to get him an accessory since it's the safer choice. However, they put their money on the table and figured their savings wouldn't save them at this point. So while they try to figure out what to do, the door opens and Meryl announces that they're home. Meanwhile, Kaiser stares at the coins on the table and asks if they are up to something. In response, Elsa says she and Anna were just saving money. Hearing this, Kaiser tells them to let him know if they need anything. To divert Kaiser's attention, Anna points out that Meryl should be in school and asks why she's at home. Suddenly, Meryl loses her composure when Anna gets close to her. She then says she's got a good reason for being at home. While Anna tries to knock some sense into Meryl, Kaiser tells her to cut the spoilt brat some slack since he is sure she won't ever skip school again. While Meryl wonders what he meant by that, Kaiser reminds Meryl that she's found her calling with magic and adds that those who are motivated don't skip classes. Anna wasn't sure what Kaiser meant either, so she decided to forgive Meryl since Kaiser asked. However, she threatens to punish Meryl whenever she skips class, so Meryl makes a smug look and reassures her that she's going to be doing a lot of amazing things from that moment on. Suddenly, Anna punches Meryl and grabs her ear. After screaming from the pain, Meryl asks why Anna did that, and Anna says the smug look on her face was annoying. Just then, Kaiser says he's leaving to make dinner and tells them to get along. Immediately, he leaves the room. The conspiracy resumes and Meryl asks her sisters what they are talking about, so they filled her in on the plan. After this, they ask if she has any ideas and Meryl thinks about it for a while and proves she is truly empty-headed. Unsurprised by Meryl's handicap, Elsa and Anna decide to go with an accessory, so Anna tells her sisters to think of other options while she contacts her acquaintances. Sometime later, Anna speaks to one for her acquaintances who owns a store in town about the accessory. When he confirms that he has a chain that he got from doing business with a peddler, he then adds that he can neither wear it nor gift it to his daughter who married off and left. While Anna drools staring at the necklace, the store owner says it's been in his drawer gathering dust for a long time. Just then, Anna asks how much he'd like to sell it. In response, the store owner says he'd like to give it to her for free, but he's got a favor to ask. When Anna asks what it is, the store owner explains that the Harvest Festival is some days away and his store does a sale outside every year. Because of his injured leg, he won't be able to provide a good service to his customers since it's a big event and a lot of people will come. He requests that Anna and her sisters work at his store that day. When Anna expresses her surprise, the store owner promises to give her the necklace after the day's work is done. So, Anna agrees to take the offer, and they agree to meet in 4 days' time. 4 days later, Anna and her sisters head towards the store. Then, Meryl asks if they'll really be working during the festival and getting any sweets. In response, Elsa tells her she'll have to endure it for the day since they're doing it for Kaiser. In addition, Elsa tells her to grow up and forget about things like sweets. However, Meryl says she's a weak little child who wants to eat lots of sweets. Hearing this, Anna says Meryl will probably like sweet things until she dies, and Elsa says she's trying to get her provoked. Afterward, they arrive at the store and meet the owner, who announces that everything is ready to go. So, the store owner's daughter greeted the girls, surprising Anna, who then asked if the store already had other people helping out. In response, the store owner says he invited them to help because he didn't want just anyone helping out. He then adds that they were beautiful girls who would definitely attract customers, unlike his daughter who wasn't cut out for the job. Pissed by his comment, the man's daughter slams her hand on the table and apologizes to the girls for her dad's selfish request. In response, Anna says it's okay since the work will also be a useful experience for them. So the girl invites them into the store and announces that there's something she'd like them to wear. A few moments later, the three sisters were dressed like salesgirls and the man's daughter got excited when she saw them. Just then, she says they are outfits she wore during the past festivals and they looked good on the sisters. After this, the store owner announces that he's going to open the store for the start of the festival, so he tells the sisters to wait outside the store. Meanwhile, as the festival progresses with many people moving around, Kaiser patrols the town and wonders why there are so many people at the festival this year. Just then he figures it must be because it's the biggest harvest the town has ever had. Suddenly, he spots a crowd and wonders what's going on at the store, so he moves closer to check it out. Right in front of the crowd, Kaiser's daughters marketed the storeman's goods, making Kaiser wonder why his daughters were working as salespeople. Suddenly, Meryl spots Kaiser from the crowd and welcomes him. Meanwhile, Anna says she thought he was in charge of the village security for the year's festival. After Kaiser confirms this, he asks why they were working as salespeople and Meryl almost lets out the secret. But Elsa is quick to shut up her loose mouth. Elsa then says they just wanted to see how it felt to sell things for a change. The store owner then spots Kaiser and apologizes for borrowing his daughters for a bit. In response, Kaiser thanked the girls for their hard work and asked the store owner if the girls didn't bother him too much. The store owner then explained that his own daughter was helping him out, but he was worried about how the sales would turn out. Just then, the store owner's daughter walks in and asks Kaiser about his daughter's new looks. So Kaiser responds by saying the outfit suits them well, making them blush. After this, the store owner tells the girls to go enjoy the festival for a bit since things have calmed down a bit at the store. Just then, Meryl went hyper and said she was starving after a long day of work. Hearing this, Elsa points out that she just grabbed something to eat from a nearby store. However, Anna excuses her by saying Meryl's attention-grabbing skill helped them get so many customers. Facing his daughters, Kaiser announces that he'll buy anything they want since they worked so hard, but Anna asks if he doesn't have to go back to work. In response, Kaiser says he was just taking a walk around the festival to check on how it was doing. Just then, they bid the store owner farewell as they all leave to go enjoy the festival. Just then, Meryl grabs Kaiser by the hands and insinuates that they're going on a date. Freaked out by this, Elsa tells Meryl to stop it since the idea of a father-daughter date makes her ears itch. However, Meryl says she cares more about huge things. Just then, Elsa goes all out on Meryl, lecturing her about how society frowns on such behavior. However, Meryl couldn't care less. Meanwhile, Kaiser watches the girls squabble and smiles to himself, thinking the girls who used to be so small can now run a shop by themselves. Just then, the reality hits him that they'll turn 14 in 4 years' time, and they'll move out towards the capital to follow the path they wish to walk. So, Kaiser thinks they'll surely be fine without his help. The next day, when he arrives home, he looks around and finds nobody, so he walks around wondering where they all went since the girls shouldn't have anything to do for the day. Suddenly, the girls appeared out of nowhere and screamed, "Happy birthday." Surprised by this, Kaiser was dumbfounded, so Elsa says they decided to throw him a party rather than flooding his DMS with wishes as usual. Just then Anna adds that they've prepared a birthday present as well, so Meryl takes out the chain and announces that they worked hard to get him his present. When they presented the chain to Kaiser, he let out his inner softie, making the girls wonder if he was alright. Kaiser then tells them he's okay, but he's still not old enough to stop crying, so he thanks them for the gift and asks if he can put it on right away. Suddenly, Meryl offers to give him a hand, and while she puts the chain on his neck, Kaiser thinks he'll be able to see them off in 4 years without trouble. However, he realizes he'll miss them after all. So when they bring his birthday cake, Kaiser figures he can't leave the village he's protecting. When he blows the candles, Kaiser decides to give the girls as much love and affection as he can until they have to leave. Sometime later, a growling beast charges towards Kaiser, and he calmly says the beast is quite lively, but picked the wrong opponent. Suddenly, Elsa rushes in and slashes the beast with her sword. After a few swings, Elsa sheaths her sword and Kaiser commends her for taking down the beast in one blow. In response, Elsa thanks Kaiser for training her and refers to the day she froze before a beast 4 years ago. Now, she says she can't keep still when there are people she needs to protect. However, Kaiser tells her never to forget how she felt that first time, even if she's all grown now. It's been 4 years since Elsa froze before the monster, and now, the girls are 14. Elsa has decided to follow the path of the sword using techniques she learned from Kaiser and making them her own. She also helps as a guardian who courageously fights against monster attacks. While they head back home, Kaiser says he heard she won the swordsmanship tournament again. Just then, Elsa confirms this and says it's her 4th time in a row. She then adds that she's finally got banned and was delighted to be, just like Kaiser was. While she gets excited, Kaiser points out that she's probably the only person in the world who could be happy about something like that, so they head home. When they arrived, Anna and Meryl welcomed them and announced that dinner was served. When Meryl falsely claims to have helped with the cooking, Anna insinuates that she only helped bring the food. Anna was now fully showing off her management and negotiation skills, and thanks to her, the village's financial situation was doing so well that they bothered to name a holiday after her. Meanwhile, Meryl, on the other hand, is still the same spoiled girl who skips out on her magic training. Although, she has decided to use her magic for people rather than for selfish reasons. Just then, Meryl announces that she found a hot spring vein using earth magic, and because of this, the village is going to have a hot spring. While she demands to be praised for this, Kaiser commends her good work. Just then, Anna chips in that getting a hot spring district will surely attract more people to the village, but on the other hand, that will also increase monster attacks, so she tells Kaiser to be careful. In response, Kaiser reassures her that he's in his 30s, but his pecs and abs are still rock solid as usual. After this, Kaiser says he can't wait to get a taste of Anna's delicious cooking, and she says it's just an imitation of his cooking. Just then, it occurs to Kaiser that his daughters will depart towards the capital the next day since people get the right to work at the age of 14. Elsa decided to follow the path of an adventurer just like Kaiser. Anna is pursuing a guild master's path and Meryl is going down the magician's path. Although she is asked to be a freeloader. Just then, Kaiser asks if the girls are all prepared for the next day. Anna then says they're not, since it's similar to moving out from a house and there are lots of things to pack up. Just then, Elsa suggests that Kaiser take a bath since they're not done with their preparation. So Kaiser heads to the bath and tells them to make sure they don't forget anything. So he leaves the room while his daughters watch him with starry eyes. A few moments later, while Kaiser chilled in the bath, he berates himself for being unable to tell the girls that he's not their father. In the past 4 years, he's lost count of times that he tried to tell the girls, but he couldn't. While he wonders what kind of people their true parents must be, the door suddenly opens and he lifts the towel on his face to see who it is. Just then, his daughters came and announced that they were coming in for a bath too. Shocked to see their assets in HD, Kaiser covers his face and says he thought the girls were getting ready for the next day. Just then, Elsa asks if she can wash his back since she'd like to repay him for teaching her the sword. When Kaiser tries to protest, he eventually gives in and offers to wash her back in return. Just then, Meryl says she'd like to join too while Elsa tells Kaiser not to turn around under any circumstances. When she washes his back, Elsa asks Kaiser how it feels and he says he feels like a new person. Suddenly, Meryl claims it's her turn, but Anna pulls her by her hair to stop her. When Meryl asks why she did that, Anna says it's because she's thinking of ruining the moment with her pocket-sized assets. She then tells Meryl not to embarrass Kaiser too much. In addition to this, she claims to be feeling cold and suggests that they all gather together. So they all got in the bath and washed Kaiser's back. However, the girls won't stop bickering over who's showing off their assets. After a moment of mindless accusations, Anna tells her sisters to shut up and rinse off. So they all do and enjoy the moment in the bath. Just then, Meryl asks if Kaiser can go with them to the capital. However, he refuses and says he's got a duty as a guardian of the village and has been assigned other jobs too. In response, Meryl says she'll be lonely because she can't live without him. In addition to this, she says she'll be staying in the village too if Kaiser is staying. Anna then tells Meryl to move to the capital where she can face the harsh society outside since staying in the village will only make her a full-fledged freeloader. Facing Kaiser, Anna assures him that she'll make sure Meryl doesn't cause too much trouble, and also promises to send a letter every month to keep him updated about how they're doing. In response, Kaiser says he can rest easy, knowing she's there with her sisters. While they all leave the bath, Kaiser thinks of how his little girls have grown up so much, so they all go to bed together. The next day, the ride to the capital arrives and the driver notifies the girls that they're ready and it's time to go. So Kaiser stares at his girls and tells them to take care of themselves. In response, they ask him to do the same. However, while they get on the carriage, Meryl says she'll be back home once a week to be spoiled. So they waved him off and he wished them a nice trip. While the carriage leaves the town and Kaiser watches, Giselle shows up and asks Kaiser if he feels a weight lifted from his shoulders. In response, Kaiser says he doesn't know yet. Giselle then commends him for his good work in the last 14 years. Just then, it hit Kaiser how the years passed quickly. Giselle then gives Kaiser a friendly pat and tells him that he must have gotten old to say that. Meanwhile, in the carriage, Elsa looks very serious, so Anna points out that, unlike Meryl who dreams of going back home once every week, Elsa will be very depressed. In response, Elsa clutches her sword and says she's fine. She then adds that Kaiser trusted them to follow their dreams, so she has no need to be depressed. Anna then says she's right, while Meryl does what she does. 4 years later, a carriage driver heading towards the capital marvels at how better the road has gotten over the years. Facing Kaiser, he asks what he thinks and Kaiser responds by saying he thinks so too. Just then, the carriage driver asks Kaiser why he's going to the capital. In response, Kaiser says that his daughter lives there and he's going to move in with her. Surprised to hear this, the driver comments that his daughter must be quite beautiful since she has a handsome-looking father. Meanwhile, Kaiser thinks of how long it's been since he sent the girls to the capital. A month ago, while working with Giselle, Kaiser had gotten a letter from the girls, and when he tore it open, Giselle said it was the routine letter, and asked if all was well with the ladies. In response, Kaiser says they seem to be doing fine. So Giselle asked if the girls were still asking him to come live with them in the capital, and Kaiser said they have been asking him for the past few months. When he heard this, Giselle advised Kaiser to move to the capital and live with his daughters. However, Kaiser was concerned about the village, so he was surprised with Giselle's suggestion. Giselle then asked Kaiser what he was worried about since he had trained enough guardians, and the fields were safe because of the lightning magic fence. While Kaiser brooded over this, Giselle took out his smoke and pointed out that Kaiser wanted to go to the capital, but couldn't do so because of his responsibilities in the village. While commending him for being righteous, Giselle reminds Kaiser that he's free to do whatever he wants with his life. After brooding over it for a little longer, Kaiser thanked Giselle, and so he decided to head to the capital once again. Just then, the carriage driver spots some guys up front along their route and wonders who they are. Just then, the guys stop the carriage while Kaiser spots their flag and figures they must be from the chivalric order. So one of the knights apologizes for stopping them and explains that they've been informed that a man named Kaiser will be arriving through that road, so he requests to see their passes. When he hears this, Kaiser wonders what the Kingdom Knights are doing over there and figures they might be looking for him because of the incident that happened 18 years ago. Thinking his bad reputation has preceded him, Kaiser reads the faces of the knights and wonders if they've really come to capture him. So the knight asks Kaiser to state his name if he's an adventurer. In response, Kaiser says he's the man they're looking for. Suddenly, the knight calls the other knights to attention while Kaiser reaches for his sword. However, the knights salute Kaiser and exclaim that they've been waiting for him. Surprised by this, Kaiser wonders why they're not arresting him. Just then, Elsa calls out to Kaiser while running towards him and waving. When he sees her, Kaiser can't believe his eyes as Elsa hugs him and says she has really missed him a lot. After a brief father-daughter moment, Kaiser says he read from her letter that she became the knight commander. Just then, Elsa reveals that she became an S-rank adventurer and also the 15th generation commander of the Knights Order of Wagenstein Kingdom. Impressed by her achievements, Kaiser commends her for working hard to make her dream come true, making Elsa blush. Just then Kaiser thanks her for coming to pick him up. However, he asks why they came out so far from the capital to pick him. In response, Elsa explains that the guild asked them to take down a wyvern, so they decided to wait for him after defeating it. While they talked, one of the knights approached them and notified them that they had to leave immediately. So Kaiser thanked the carriage driver and handed him his payment. A few moments later, they rode back towards the capital and the knights asked Kaiser if it was true that Elsa had never been able to hit him with a sword. In response, Kaiser confirms it, surprising the knights who then figured that Kaiser's swordsmanship must be exceptional if the youngest S-rank adventurer and knight commander hadn't been able to land a hit on him. Meanwhile, Kaiser tells Elsa that she might not have landed hits when she was 14. However, he's unsure about it now. When they enter the capital, Kaiser gets nostalgic and then asks about Anna and Meryl. In response, Elsa says Anna is busy with guild work, while Meryl was supposed to join her to welcome him. Just then, Kaiser says she's probably sleeping if she is nowhere to be found. When he asks if Meryl is a student at the Magic Academy, Elsa explains that she's a scholarship student there, and she gets a bed and free food. Hearing this, Kaiser laughs and says it's the best thing she could ever ask for. After this, Elsa asks Kaiser what he plans to do next, and he says he's thinking of finding a job, but he needs a place to stay first. He then adds that he'll stay at an inn for the time being. However, Elsa explains that Meryl has made arrangements to leave the dormitory when she hears that he's coming to the capital. So Kaiser suggests that they find a house as soon as possible since his life will be made miserable if Meryl moves in with him in an inn. When Kaiser points out that they didn't have much time, Elsa says she'll take care of it. Just then, Kaiser asks if she has something in mind and Elsa says that renting a house is expensive, but he shouldn't worry about the money. She then added that with her referral, he could be offered a house free of charge. Impressed by this, Kaiser says he'll take whatever he can get. So he asks her what kinds of houses are available and Elsa checks through a pamphlet where she discovers that they've got some choices within the aristocratic and residential districts. So they decide to check them out. Shortly after, they arrived at the residential district. Kaiser and Elsa checked out the rooms and the features of the house. Just then, Kaiser stares out the window while Elsa suggests that the second and third floors could be used as rooms for everyone. Meanwhile, Kaiser likes the idea since everyone will be comfortable. Just then, Elsa suggests that they visit the houses in the aristocratic district. When they arrived, a knight on watch greets Elsa, while Kaiser says he's never been to the aristocratic district before. He then asks if there are people who keep guard there. In response, Elsa says the knights will come running to take care of it if anything happens. Afterward, they arrive in front of a large building, and when they check it out, Kaiser points out that everything in the house seems luxurious, so he pauses and considers both options. Suddenly, he hears someone screaming at a boy who then pitifully apologizes. So the woman berates the boy for creeping into the aristocratic district despite being from the residential district. After this, she accuses the boy of trying to steal something because he's a poor peasant. In his defense, the boy says he's looking for his dog which ran into the aristocratic district. While he explains, the boy suddenly finds his dog and goes to get it, while the woman says the dog is just as dirty as its owner. Just then, the dog approaches the woman but she kicks it off. So the boy asks why she did that, and she responds saying such a filthy creature shouldn't come close to her since the aristocratic district isn't meant for peasants. Suddenly, the woman calls on the knights to get rid of the peasants. After this, she spots Elsa and is struck. She then asks why Elsa is in her neighborhood. So Elsa explains that she and her father are looking for a house to live in. Facing Kaiser, the woman compliments his looks, but Kaiser gives a vague response. He then reveals that they've checked both houses in the aristocratic district and the residential district, and he's trying to decide on where to live. The woman then says that people like Elsa don't deserve to live with the peasants. In addition to this, she says they'll be neighbors if Kaiser decides to live in the aristocratic district. To spite her, Kaiser says he has decided to live in the residential district. So the woman asks why, and Kaiser says she might be excited about being neighbors, but the thought of living in the same area as her disgusts him to no end. Kaiser then teaches her that decency can't